Good morning, afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to today's debate. My name is Hayley Bavoli and I am the chairman. The timekeeper is Bethany and Miss Lowen is the adjudicator. The topic for this debate is that cats are better than dogs. Hoping to convince you of the truth of this statement is the affirmative team seated to my right, trying to show that this statement is false, is the negative team seated to my left. The speaking time for this debate is 2 minutes. A single warning bell will sound at 1 minute and a double bell will sound at 2 minutes. I call upon the first affirmative speaker, Megan Ford.
Good afternoon, Madam Chairman, ladies and gentlemen. The topic for our debate is that cats are better than dogs. We, the affirmative team, believe that this statement is definitely true. We believe these definitions are true. Cats are a small, furry, domesticated, four-legged, carnivorous animal with whiskers, often kept as a pet. Dogs are a four-legged, carnivorous animal kept as a pet or trained for use in hunting, and better means more excellent, kind, more satisfactory, or of superior value or use. Today, as first speaker, I will be talking to you about the cleanliness of cats. Our second speaker will be talking to you about how easy it is to look after cats. And our third speaker will sum up our team's case and rebut our opposition's arguments. I'm going to discuss 2 points. My first point is that cats are potty trained because of this they do their business either outside in the garden and bury it afterwards, or in a kitty litter tray where it is simple to transfer to the bin. This is very convenient because they don't leave their business around the garden or house. My second point is that you don't need to wash or clean cats as they wash them themselves. This saves lots of valuable time for owners as nowadays people are very busy. Also, this means that they will not stink out your house because they do not smell. So, Madam Chairman, ladies and gentlemen, in conclusion, our team believes that cats are better than dogs.
I call upon the first negative speaker, Matthew Derflinger.
Good afternoon, Madam Chairman, ladies and gentlemen. The topic of our debate is that cats are better than dogs. However, the negative team believes that this statement is not true. The first speaker, the affirmative team, tried to tell you that cats are clean. In fact, they are not, because cats get into a lot of trouble and get a lot of muddy. And they say that you do not need to wash or clean cats. Even though cats clean themselves, you will have a nice big dirty hairball on your floor when you finish. And they say they do not smell, but I've seen one before, they do smell. Today, as first speaker, I will be talking to you about how helpful and playful dogs are. Our second speaker will be talking about how dogs are loyal companions and good for exercise. I will be discussing 2 points. My first point is that dogs are helpful. Dogs are helpful because they are used as guard dogs in finding contraband, such as drugs and stuff. They also stop, like in America, they stop illegal people coming into our borders and stuff. So, yeah. Another reason to support this is that they help elder people, being a seeing eye dog, to help them like walk around. Also blind people. And they also have many stories of dog rescuing people. Now my second point. that they are more playful. They like to play around, such as jumping, running, fetching, while cats sit around and watch TV. They are also happy-go-lucky animals that may tire but keep going because they love it. Cats hiss at you if you throw them a ball. So Madam Chairman, ladies and gentlemen, in conclusion, finish this sentence that what your team believes. I hope I have persuaded you that dogs are better than cats. Remember, cats are cool, but dogs still rule.
I call upon the second affirmative speaker, Caitlin McDonald.
Good afternoon, Madam Chairman, ladies and gentlemen. The topic of our debate is that cats are better than dogs. We, the affirmative team, believe that this statement is true. The first speaker from the negative team has tried to tell you that they help blind people. This is wrong because people could help blind people, and if they did, it would boost employment. Our first speaker has already explained the cleanliness of cats. Today I will be talking to you about why cats are better than dogs, because they are easier to take care of and not dangerous. My first point is that cats are easier to take care of for old people. This is because you don't have to walk them or wash them. Support this. Another reason to support this is they are smaller and calmer than most dogs. They won't knock old people over. To see how Now to my second point. Cats are better than dogs because they're not as dangerous. This is because they are not as tough as dogs, and they won't bite you as harmfully as a dog will. Another reason to support this is cats are not as active as dogs, so they won't hurt little kids. My third and final point is that cats stay out of your way. This is because if you're a busy person, you don't have to play with your cat. Another reason to support this is they can look after themselves. So, Madam Chairman, ladies and gentlemen, in conclusion, we affirmative team strongly believe that cats are better than dogs.
I call upon the second negative speaker, Joshua.
Good afternoon, Madam Chairperson, ladies and gentlemen. The topic for our debating is that cats are better than dogs. We, the negative team, believe that this statement is false. The first affirmative team member has said about the cleanliness of the cats, how they are potty trained. But you have to train the cats to be potty trained. which takes a longer time than you can train a dog to do the business where you want it. And to wash them. She said that they can wash themselves, but they miss spots and you find hairballs on the floor and you still have to wash them. And it's about they don't stink. Yes, they do stink. If they've gone to the toilet and they've stepped in it or just stepped in it, then it goes on their fur and they really stink. And the second person has talked about the caring of them, how they stay with older people. Dogs will stay with the master if it was told to. Cats will do whatever it wants to. It will walk off and do whatever it wants. Dogs, if it sees an older person on the floor that's having a stroke or something, they would know straight away and try to find some help. Our first speaker has already explained how dogs are helpful and playful. Today I will be talking to you about 2 points, loyalty and exercise. Now to my first point, loyalty. Dogs are very loyal because they are very loving, and one more about the loyalty is if you take them for a walk many times, they will come back from running away, while cats will just get run over. This is because how can you love a dead animal? Dogs mostly come home while cats get lost. They never leave their owners. Dogs will never leave their owners. Another reason supporting this is you can train a dog to obey your orders. Examples, if you ask it to sit, it will not stand, but wait for your orders. How loyal is that? Exercise. Dogs are energetic while cats sleep all day. The owner can walk through the door to find a sleeping cat. Dogs would be excited to see their owners and run to greet them. So, Madam Chairman, ladies and gentlemen, in conclusion, I hope you love dogs like I do.
I call upon the third affirmative speaker, Ben Ellis.
Good afternoon, Madam Chairman, ladies and gentlemen. The topic for our debate is that cats are better than dogs. We, the affirmative team, believe that this statement is absolutely true. The second affirmative speaker has tried to tell you that dogs are very welcoming when you come home. This is true, but they can get a bit overexcited, and there have been many cases when a dog has ripped someone's ear off, and they often make a lot of noise in the neighbourhood and annoy people. The second and negative speaker has also tried to tell you that you can train dogs to do poos in a spot, like in this one spot like cats. I've tried and it does not work. No, it doesn't. The first negative speaker has tried to tell you that dogs make good guard dogs. Yes, they do, but robots make better. They are cheaper, they live longer, and they are also more efficient at keeping people away from buildings, like banks. The first and negative speaker has also tried to tell you that dogs can help with fitness. This also is true, but you don't need a dog to go walking around the block. Our first speaker spoke to you about how cats are so much cleaner than dogs because they lick themselves They leave their droppings in a litter box and they don't smell as bad. Another reason why cats are cleaner than dogs is because when they eat and drink, they don't slosh it around everywhere. And they also lick their paws, so everywhere they've walked isn't left around in the house, which for dogs can often be sand and mud. Our second speaker has told you that cats are safer than dogs because they are smaller and can't do as much damage when threatened. Our second speaker has also told you that they can fend themselves better, they take less effort, and they're better for old people and young children. Another way that this helps is because there are many busy business people in the world today who wouldn't be able to look after a dog, and a cat would be a good companion for there to be a good relationship. So, Madam Chairman, ladies and gentlemen, in conclusion, my team believes that cats are cleaner, easier to look after, and are much, much better for elderly people and the busy world of today. Thank you.
I call upon the third negative speaker, Naomi Kavahara.
Good afternoon, Madam Chairman, ladies and gentlemen. The topic for our debate is that cats are better than dogs. We, the negative team, believe that this statement is false. The first affirmative speaker has tried to tell you that cats are clean, potty trained, and therefore go to the toilet where they are supposed to, and they clean themselves and do not stink out the house. This is wrong because the cat still sometimes might go to the toilet in the wrong place, and they kill birds, and they might bring the bird inside, and that it would stink. The second affirmative speaker has tried to tell you that it's easier to take care of cats for old people, and they don't have to look after them as much, and they're not going to hurt little kids. This is wrong because then the old person might be more lonely than they would be if they had dogs to cheer them up, and they still need to look after the cat as much as they need to for dogs. And they still can hurt little kids because cats do scratch and bite, and they might scare them by hissing at them. The third affirmative speaker has tried to tell you that robots can be better guards, and that dogs have bitten off people's ears and things like that. But this is wrong because the robots could run out of battery, and they don't always cost more than dogs. And cats have also hurt humans severely. Our first speaker spoke to you about playfulness and helpfulness. Some examples are that they can be used as guard dogs, finding contraband, helping elderly, and guide dogs. Our second speaker spoke to you about exercise and loyalty. Some reasons are that they come back after running away and won't usually get run over like cats. How can you love an animal fully if you can't play with it and do the stuff you used to when it's dead? So, Madam Chairman, ladies and gentlemen, in conclusion, our team believes if you are thinking of buying a pet, buy a dog. They are easier to keep track of and look after. Cats are still cool, but dogs still rule.
Please remain quietly seated while the adjudicator finalises the result. I now ask the adjudicator, Miss Lowen, come forward to award the debate.
Well, what I'm going to do first of all is I'm going to go through each individual speaker, and then we'll talk about the debate as a whole and why I gave the debate to the people that I did. First of all, we're starting with Megan. Megan, you've got a really nice speaking voice when you get up to debate. That was good. You summed up. Now about your definition. When you've looked at the definition, you need to have one phrase or word that sort of encapsulates what you're saying. So you just need to work on that a little bit and explain it in maybe one sentence. You had some really good points, and your explanation of the points was very good as well. Okay, Matthew. Matthew, you've got a very bright speaking voice, and the good thing that you did as the first negative is you got right into the rebuttal and explained why some of the points that the first speaker affirmatively brought up were wrong. So you've done a very good job with that. And very well set out arguments, and also you had a nice funny ending, so that had a nice conclusion to your debate. Coming to Caitlin. Caitlin, one of the jobs, and it's a really hard thing, and I can see that, is that you need to maybe work on your rebuttal a little more. Okay? So as second speaker, you have to listen carefully to what he said and try and get to some of his points. But at least you did try to make an attempt at rebuttal. Again, one of the things when we were talking about earlier today, so that you don't feel nervous, make your body into a really positive position. And probably you didn't realise you were doing it, but you were sort of crossing your legs a little bit and stuff like that, okay? And I know it's hard because it's the first debate, but if you just say to yourself, I'm going to keep my legs really still, you'll find that it'll stop you from looking quite so nervous. But again, for your team, you had made some really, really valid, nice points and arguments for your team. Okay, coming to Joshua now. Joshua, very good eye contact. An excellent rebuttal. I've got, all his rebuttal points. He went through it very systematically in a logical order, and he was looking at discussing all the points that the other side had brought up, and he's rebutting all of that. So I think you've done an excellent job with that. Again, you must just remember it's Madam Chairman, not Chairperson, okay? Very excellent rebuttal, well-constructed argument, and so you had a lot of points, and I think your time might have been a fair bit off the time. Some of the points that you made for your whole team might be useful for your first speaker to take up some of those points so that you don't have so much material to go through. So when you guys are preparing your debates, as you run through them, you might say, look, I've got too much material. First speaker will have to take some of that. Okay, now we come to Jayden. Again, bright, firm, nice loud voice, very commanding when you get up. You look very, very confident. He's got excellent eye contact. He's only referring back to his notes, so he's done a very good job with that. One of the things I thought was a bit strange in your rebuttal was to say that instead of dogs guarding, you could have robots. So I'm not really sure. I've not had a robot look after my house or anything. So that's probably when you're preparing, it mightn't be, a basic point to say. However, having said that, third negative got up and argued about the robots. Whether, they were better guards or not. You've got to get up and just attack the other side and say, oh look, I'm sorry, but I've never ever heard of a robot looking after anybody's house. Maybe in the year, 3001 it might be happening, but we're talking about right now. So as long as you're polite in the way that you do it, and you're not rude to the other person and say, well, that was really stupid for you to say that, but you just attack the argument, then you don't have to accept the fact that, Jayden thinks there are robots.
Well, I meant banks.
What did you mean?
Banks.
Banks.
Robots going in banks.
Robots banks. Okay, I'm still confused. Nevertheless, anyway, Naomi, when you got up to speak, again, you've got quite an excellent speaking voice, but you need to hold, your deportment needs to be up a little more so you don't look quite so crouched down, and then I can see your face a little more. Perhaps think of a different conclusion than, your previous speaker. However, I thought that you did a very good job of your summary. Now today we talked a little bit about how rebuttal is really important when you get up to debate, and I felt today that the team that did the most rebuttal in attacking the other side's case was actually the negative team. I thought the affirmative team came up with some really, really good points, but they didn't attack the other side nearly as much as they needed to, even though Jaden, you've done an excellent job of trying to do that. So for those reasons, I've given it to the negative team.
Okay. You turned it off now?
Thank you for your attendance. I now declare this debate closed.